welcome back to my channel. My name is Antoinette Eastman and I'm doing anime reviews. So this would be like part 3 to the Naruto Shippuden Ninja War, Third Great Ninja War part 3. I tried to do a lot of episodes this time around, but I wasn't able. I only did probably 3 or 4. So this won't be a very long live. So where we left off last was the Hokage was being the four Hokages of the Leaf had been summoned by Orochimaru to explain to Sasuke what a village was and all of that, because he couldn't understand why his brother would sacrifice so much for the village even after death, or why Danzo would do so much for the village. So we were at the end of that episode where, at the end of the story that the first Hokage gave, Sasuke decided to fight for the village that Itachi protected, and all of the Hokage dispersed, and you see all of them standing on their own statues as they before heading out to the battle, which was kind of cool. And that ended that last episode. So in the episode prior, for those who's not familiar with me, I won't do everything particularly in order, so I may mention a few things here and there from past, reaching present. So we go back to the battlefield and we see Naruto is exhausted, I believe. Kakashi and Obito went off into their own spatial place where they started to duke it out. Kakashi is trying to convince him that Naruto is kind of like you, trying to bring back the friend that he once knew. And it was surprising to me that eventually Obito had found out about why Ren died, and that Kakashi didn't kill her, but she ran into his blade. But I know in his flashback, in Obito's flashback, he decided to side with Madara in building, what do you call it? The Tsukinomo. And even after he found out the truth after Rin died, I'm wondering, why did he still want to do that? What still drove him to do that? Did he really miss Rin so much that it's kind of impossible for him to just let himself grieve and move past that? And my other thought was in one of the flashbacks, you see him throw away the flowers that Kakashi brought to Rin's grave. So I'm kind of wondering, at what point did he figure out Rin sacrificed herself and it wasn't Kakashi who killed her? Because his actions didn't show that he knew at all. And I'm kind of because we found out that the three-tail like had like a new host, so I guess they were never able to retrieve Rin's body. Yeah, we don't know how. Was it I forgot which nation it was. Like, how did they get back like the the tail beast to find like another Chinchuriki after like Rin died? Because I think their main thing was like to not like have them the least get the body back. So I'm wondering, how did they get back the tail beast? Like, they never showed that, so I'm just kind of curious about that part as well. So while Obito and Kakashi were doing their battle, you see Sakura was like healing Naruto, and the rest of the ninjas like came together to fight. And in some ways, like, I feel like the extra ninjas, like, a lot of them kind of look alike. I don't know if they couldn't bother like drawing like different characters. They just like draw like 3 or 4 and like multiply the looks. That's what I saw, and I'm like, that is lazy. But they're better draw artists than me, so I'm not gonna trash them on that. So I believe Shikamaru came up with the plan to stop the Ten Tails, because the Ten Tails was attacking, was letting out an attack, one of his tail beast bomb, and connected. I forgot what clan Ino was from, where she could connect the mind connect through like everyone on the field, and Shikamaru kind of like took over like planning, because as we knew that the tail beast destroyed headquarters, and that was just so sad, that their fathers died. It kind of broke my heart to know that they died. What was I gonna say? I'll remember later. So Shikamaru came up with the idea for them to learn like a simple art style to like hold back the tail beast bomb and have like the earth people made like a stronger wall, and B had his moment where he could like help stop it. So I think like within that moment, like the yellow flash Hokage returned, like appeared on the field. And I guess Naruto was aware of his presence in Sage mode. And, he had a whole moment with his son, which I thought was cute. And I think that was the first time Sakura knew that the fourth Hokage was, what's his name? Minato was Naruto's dad. And, I kind of wish, like, the third Hokage would have, like, let others know in the village that I felt if people know that he was the son of a hero, that they would have probably treated him better. But he said he didn't. I believe in one of the shows he said that he didn't do that because it was to protect Naruto, and I'm like, he didn't do much protecting, if you ask me, because the kid pretty much raised himself. I know I think he gave him allowances, but I don't know how much care he gave him like he promised he would. Also, okay, let's go back to the war. So, after the first Hokage arrived on the field, he let Naruto know that Sasuke is coming. But he said, "Your other friend, he is on his way too." And then you see all the other Hokage appear, and everyone was like very like super excited. And And I think they were even more excited to know that the reanimation Hokages were like on their side. And no one was more excited that Hashirama Senju was back than Madara. He was like a little kid. Like, Hashirama, you're back. So he was like, I ain't got time to deal with you yet. And I'm like, you see that childhood like exchange like based on the flashback, like how they interact with each other. You know? And I guess in some ways it kinda like calmed Madara down to know that his friend is back, because he just like sat down in the corner and like waited for him. So and I thought that was just like in some ways a little interesting that, you know, that such great respect that he was like he went and sit down somewhere. That was pretty cool to see. And then you see Sasuke arriving on the battlefield. You know, Naruto and Sakura are happy to see him. And, you know, Ino was also happy to see him. And then, but they were like still like Choji and Shikamaru are like suspicious. And like was like not willing to trust him, and he was like, Sasuke was like, I'm gonna be the next Hokage. I'm like, what? Like, that kind of like threw me. I'm like, so I guess Sasuke is kind of back. But I guess in some ways he is still dealing with his issues internally, like, and then you see Orochimaru and Sasuke's two companions that he went rogue, that was rogue with him. They went over to where the five Hokages were alive. So you have the 4 dead Hokages and you have the 5 live Hokages. So he went over to the live Hokages, where Tsunade was like trying to heal herself, but her 100 mark was disappearing. And you see the flashback between them when they were talking about the tree deadlock. What is it called? The 3-way deadlock. I still don't understand like the concept of like the 3-way deadlock. Because Tsunade was talking, I just didn't understand it when Tsunade was like explaining to Orochimaru, and I don't know, maybe once it plays out in the battle I'll like see exactly what it is, but I just didn't get it. But in some ways, like when Orochimaru was talking to Tsunade, like you can see that they were really close. I don't know, like, maybe at some point Orochimaru did, like, have a thing for Tsunade, you know? Maybe he did. You never know. So, they was able to heal Tsunade with, I forgot what that chick name is, who was Karim, who had the Uzumaki blood, where she could, like, you could bite her and it, like, rejuvenates you. And Tsunade was able to heal. And then we're going back to the battlefield. I just think that part, like, was like a felt heart moment between Orochimaru and Lady Tsunade. So back to the main battlefield. You see Team 7 gotten together to go fight the Ten Tails, and they did their summonings. Like, Sakura did summon the snail. Sasuke summoned his snake, and Naruto summoned the frog. And when I saw the frog, I'm like, that's Gamakichi. And I remembered when Naruto was training with him, he was like the cutest little orange frog there was. Or was it a toad? I don't know. Why is there a difference between a frog and a toad? Like, they look the same, they croak the same. Why does there have to be a difference? I just don't get it. Alright, so out of the frog and toad thing. So Gamakichi was a lot bigger and stronger. And I'm like, oh, I think he lost a little bit of his orange color. He was a little more pink. And his tattoo was kind of dope on his face. I thought that was very cool. And he also came with an attitude kind of like his own man. I'm wondering if he's like the oldest, because I believe there were two of them that he trained with. So I'm kind of wondering how the other one, how big he is, and how his attitude is. Where was I? Yeah. So Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura both summoned their monsters, because the three of them were trained by, each of them were trained by the legendary Sannin. Because Sasuke was trained by Orochimaru, and Naruto was trained by Jiraiya, and Sakura was trained by Lady Tsunade. So, and I guess, I don't know if it's this, I heard the Hokage Lord Fourth, he said the same thing. It's good to see the three-way deadlock again. So I don't know, is the three-way deadlock just the summoning of the animal, or is it the battle formation? Because I know when they first did their attack, Sakura was able to release the 100th healing jutsu and like do the wide range healing with the snail, so everyone was able to get healed. And I think Naruto and Sasuke were able like to combine their attack with fire and wind. And I think the fourth kind of gave it a nickname. He called it the Scorched Sky formation one. I'm like, these people and these names for stuff. Like, how did they even come up with that? And I think he let it go after the fact. But as the battle continued, like, Sasuke just really wanted to burn away the 10 tails and get it over with, while Naruto wanted to take out the tail beast spirit from out of him. He said he wanted to save them. He still wants to save them. And I think at that point, like, I don't know if that was something that they showed before, that the fourth Hokage had half of the tail beast sealed within himself. And I don't think I knew that before. I thought all of the tail beast was sealed inside. I didn't know they were divided in two. So maybe they had mentioned that, but, or was that in one of the movies? I just don't remember, but it was kind of cool because, like, the fourth sealed the 9 tails in him before he died. So as soon as he was, like, revived, like, with the death jutsu thing, reanimation, like, he was able to take control of the 9 tails chakra. Like, that is skill. Like, he didn't go through, like, that whole training B and Naruto did. It was like he just automatically, like, took control of the chakra, and I believe that it was his first time using it because he died, like, right after it was sealed inside him. So I kind of think that was, like, an impressive skill that he was just able to do that just, like, right off the bat. And let's see, the 10 tails was still resistant. It created, like, a lot of, like, mini monsters. And I believe the four Hokages, like, they were able to create, like, a barrier around the seal beast. And I'm like, it was a very tall barrier, and I'm like, why does that barrier doesn't have a cover on the top? Like, they know the 10 tails could just, like, jump out of it. I mean, it makes no sense. How are you gonna make a barrier that has no top, a topless barrier, as you can say? Like, how does that make sense to you? Even though they added, like, the iron gate, seal gate for the 10 tail, like, he was still able, like, to get out of it. And, like, at this point, I think the barrier is useless, like, because I don't think you should, if you're gonna make a full barrier that covers top and bottom, not just a wall with an open roof over, like, where someone could just jump out. Like, don't do that. That was just, like, a waste of making of a barrier, if you asked me. Now, the way Shikamaru, like, how they had sealed away Tsunade's lover with the whole barrier covering top to bottom, like, that was the way to do it. Like, the way they did it was just not right. And I thought they should have done better as Hokages. So it ended up that, so they started showing the battle between Obito and Kakashi, and Kakashi ended up winning the battle. I guess it was technically a draw, but Obito kind of, like, escaped from out of there, and Madara forced the jutsu to was trying to force Obito to do the Renegon rebirth, because Madara had control over the white and black Setsu parts that are attached to Obito. and he tried to force him to do the rebirth. But when he was fighting Kakashi, you saw there was a moment where he did a hand sign with Kakashi while they were fighting, like when they're in like close quarters. I don't know if he used it with like Genjutsu to form that handshake. Oh my god, the words are not roll off my tongue. The hand sign gesture with Kakashi. So you see that, and I guess that was part of the starting ritual of like what he did, like to merge himself to become the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. So Madara wasn't able to force. They were able to stop Madara in time, and not to force Obito to make him come to life. But I think they should have let him come to life, because that way, when they kill him, he will actually die. But if he's dead, he still has like this kind of like a, I don't know, a little bit of a more power, because he's not able to die. And I think having that restriction when he comes back to life, like, he won't be like such like a reckless fighter and have so much mouth saying you can't defeat me, when we've seen multiple times where they did get the one up on him, but he was only able to survive because he was dead and can like regenerate himself. So I don't know why they wanted to stop that. I would have just let them go ahead and like bring him back to life, and he could, because that way he could die. But it turns out that Toby kind of figured out that Madara was really wanting to use his body anyway. So Toby became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Was that like the end of that episode? I believe. Yes, I do believe that was the end of the episode. Like, it ended when he started to become the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. But I think one of the clones, Hashirama, like sent out one of his clones to like fight Madara, and Madara's like, I'm good sitting just right here. I'll wait for your original body. And I don't think they were like reanimated like with all the power that they had, because they seemed to like, they seemed disappointing that at the limit of the shadow clones they can create. So I guess in some ways, like the Zetsu body can only hold like so much power. So when they were reanimated, they can still do good. But I'm not sure that they were reanimated like at their best, like when they were alive. Like, so I think that's something that they all noticed. So in the next episode, I believe we will see how it plays out with Toby being a Jinchuriki. I'm not sure what Madara is going to do, but I will try to watch at least a few more episodes so I could like do like a more like compressed review. But thanks for listening, you guys. Again, my name's Antoinette. I will be trying like to do a subscription for my channel, which will have like more episodes, exclusive episodes. That's where I'll be doing like my reviews for like Fairy Tale, D Gray Man, and Shadow's House. So those will strictly be for my subscribers. So you're welcome to subscribe to my channel and on Apple Podcasts. And again, thank you for listening and hope you join me again on another episode. All right, bye-bye.